United Kingdom. You know, some people don't realize that Scotland is not a country, it's just part of the United Kingdom. I was very surprised. Anyway, so you are a filmmaker, an editor, and you help business and individuals produce effective video content. This is now your your job right now, but you have an amazing history. I mean, you were born with cerebral palsy, but you do sports and outdoor stuff, and that is just amazing. And so you've also got your degree in biotechnology from University of,
Dundee.
oh, it was Dundee. I would have not
Yeah.
said, okay, Dundee, and then also your postgraduate from the University of Manchester, cell and molecular biology. Um, that just blows my mind because I wouldn't even go there. I mean, that's just unbelievable. But you have also started writing, and that's where your new career started. And it's
Yeah.
amazing how we get degrees and stuff in one thing and then move into another,
Yeah.
onto another path, right? So I've had several paths. So tell us about the writing. I'm really interested in the writing.
Well, as you said, I did the molecular biology, and unfortunately, I never got work in the field. So, maybe 15 years ago, I had been unemployed for a long time, and then I just started writing about my story, and then suddenly there was a lot of interest in what I was doing, and then I started to get requests from national newspapers to write for them about disability and aspects in society, and then things went from there. From writing for papers and magazines, and then I think it was about 2014 I started writing a blog, and I wrote a blog for years, and just over the years, I should probably know that the internet changed, from sort of writing to video, and that's how, that's how I fell into filmmaking.
And it's interesting because blog writing is not the easiest thing. You were very fortunate that you wrote for newspapers and started out like that. But I mean, even doing when you are doing your degree, you're doing research and you're writing papers. So, I'm always telling my e-commerce clients to actually write a blog. Put the information out there, and it's not the easiest thing. I mean, if you started 2014, so that was 5 or 6 years ago. Do you have quite a following on the blog?
Well, I did it at one time, but I think I got more following when I wrote for the newspapers, because I was writing for national papers.
Oh,
But but I think if you do a degree in any subject,
yes.
one thing that you really learn is how to write and how to present information. It's like the basic training of any degree. And so by the time that I'd finished my postgraduate, I'd done so much writing and putting together information. So it was like a good, it was like Montessori for journalism.
Yeah, I know. So
Yeah.
my daughter-in-law studied psychology. So, and she's my social media person. If I write anything, I just go, Amanda, please check this out. And I've
Yeah.
learned literally how to write properly is by starting my book 8 months later or 6 months later. I had to start at the beginning again and rewrite some of the stuff because you learn so much as you're doing it. The more you do it, the better you are. So the video, you do online videos as well, right? You do shows and stuff.
Yeah, well, at the moment, I'm not doing live shows, but I'm making video, and I started doing video. I started making video about outdoor sport because it happened 2 years ago. I did a big cycle run for an organization called Sustrans. It was a 7-day cycle ride, and somebody, not me, made a film of it.
Oh,
And it was a
wow.
very wonderful film. I loved it, and then I thought, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna get my phone and I'm gonna try and film myself cycling, and that's how I started. I started making little films about myself on my bike, and first of all, I found people liked it, and secondly, I just really enjoyed doing it. It was good fun. so,
Yes.
and that was 2 and a bit years ago. So my video making just went from there really, and
So,
I just think I could have loved it.
so you use one of those hover things, right? What are they called? Um,
Uh, I, I drone,
a
yeah,
drone, yes, yes.
yeah,
I
yeah.
bought my husband a drone and it was about this size, okay. And then he was practicing. It landed right in his glass of wine. So I decided to buy him a bigger one.
No,
So,
I did. Yeah, you did that big of my own small glass.
and
Yeah.
apparently with the drones, the bigger ones are more controllable, right?
Yeah, there's such a range of drones.
Yes.
You can get a really basic one, or you can spend thousands on a drone. I was very very lucky because one of my supporters, uh, um, the owner of Smart Digital, he sponsored some work, and he very very kindly provided my drone for me. So
Wow.
I was very lucky that way.
Yes.
But yeah, and it's very good. I got my drone just at the start of lockdown last time. I got it on my April May, and so it was a perfect time to practice because nobody was going out except me, and so yeah,
I know,
it
right?
was good. So
So
uh,
in Scotland, do you need a license to fly because of the airspace, flight
Well,
space?
yeah, the rooms are difficult, but it's dependent on the size of your drone,
Oh,
and and I have quite a small drone. If you have a drone over, and the magic number is 250 grams. If it's over 250 grams, you need a license, and you need paperwork. If it's under that weight, you don't need a license or paperwork. So
wow.
fortunately, mine's under that weight, so I get off scot free.
So this is like boats here in the USA. So if you have a boat that is 100 feet, then you need a license. Under it, you don't need a license. So there are a lot of idiots out there that don't know anything about boats that are driving the boats around, right? So,
Yeah.
so anyway,
Um,
so are you
uh,
making film now? Are you making videos? And what videos do you create?
well, I'm focusing on tourism videos at the moment because around Scotland there's lots of places, nice places that people want to see. And for example, I'm close to East Lothian, so I've been down there filming bits of East Lothian with a drone, and I'm hoping that uh, once it's all done, I can maybe entice visit Scotland or visit East Lothian to
Mm-hmm.
get me to make film or something like that. So I suppose my favorite thing to do is kind of like tourism promotion videos. But at the moment, I haven't made videos for anybody and anything. So
Exactly, exactly. So
yeah,
what you should do is if you're heading into the tourism thing, right? So you have the video and then creating the maybe T-shirts and hats. You can do that with a print on demand, um, um, and so you don't actually have to buy them up ahead of time. You can just buy them as people are you can just sell them as people are. You can make them as people are buying them. So that's maybe a good idea for you, just to have that little extra little ding 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 that comes into your into your bank account, right? I mean, you can create any T-shirt that you can think of, and sell them online. Um, and I mean, Scotland, so many people well, when we start traveling in, so many people will go back to Scotland, and with your connections that you are creating, everybody's online and connecting to you, and you connecting, when you connecting to them, you connecting to their friends, so that all spreads out, right? All those connections. So, and then, I mean, having the cerebral palsy puts you in just a certain elevated state where you can really play on it,
Yeah.
Yeah, because money is important.
No, I am. Yeah, money helps. Money is a bit nice, and it's quite funny you talk about the clothing and stuff like
Yes.
that. I've learned that the hard way because I've had bandanas. You know, some people call them neck gaiters or
Yes.
buffs.
Yes.
I've had a whole yeah. I've had a big box of them printed up and delivered, and they've been sitting in my house for the last 6 months. And every, every now and again, I pass the box and think I really should try and sell these. And the the idea was that I was gonna set up an online store and I was gonna sell them on the back of what I was doing and blah 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 blah. But it hasn't quite happened yet. and,
So,
but what you said, print on demand would have been a better option.
but so this is what happened to so this one little client, she created this travel bag, right? And she had it done and manufactured, and she ordered 100 of them, and COVID happened, and nobody's traveling. So what do you do?
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
but one of the ideas I gave her is to create a go-to bag for ladies that are pregnant. It doesn't have to be a travel bag; it has to go-to bag. But and she changed her website to um, Travel Girl something or other, and so I said to her, well, you know what? Nobody's traveling right now. That's not, you're not going to get sales. She said, and this is what she said. And you know what? Sometimes you hear things back of what you're teaching. She said, I know it's going to take some time to get some sales, and I'm preparing for it now. So whatever you're doing, I mean, with a blog or writing, how long that takes to take hold of people actually noticing you, right? So
Yeah.
so just continuing pushing it out is, eventually it'll take. One of my other little clients, she does personalized puzzles, and she was a teacher, and so she had the printer. She bought the printer, thousands of dollars, had to order the puzzle die things, and
Right.
the ink is expensive and the paper's expensive. So she did a lot of investment, and there was those 10 months where I have to keep saying to her, just keep going, just keep, you think of that little train, just keep going,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she keeps reminding me. I've known her now for 10 odd years. She keeps reminding me, remember, and she tells everybody in my workshops, remember, I was doing what you told me to do for 10 months, and then and it was like opening a door, and suddenly my customers were there, because she just did continuously the social, and you do the social media as well, so continuously being online and continuously doing the exposure is such a huge thing of selling any product. I don't care whether it's a product or service, right?
Yeah, right. And I'm very fortunate. I have a good social media following, I have a lot of people on LinkedIn and a lot of people on other platforms, and actually, that's where all my customers and my followers are. The number of people looking at my website is minuscule compared, but that's okay,
Yes,
because
yes.
I've got this exposure on social media. So it's how to channel that and how to use that, and yeah, if I could sell my if I could sell my bandanas to that, I'd be very happy.
Well,
I
you know
tell
what?
you,
We'll definitely we are going to be
yeah.
talking about that. But and so then the thing is that if you have a big following on social media, then you've got to point them back to your website, right? So there's all those little tricks that no hair.
It's a hard
you,
part.
I know. But always pointing them back to that original nexus of where you're actually earning money. Plus, so when you advertise, or so when you're showing your portfolio, do you do it on your website?
Well, I have my films on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and I put links to them on my website. But but to be honest with you, I've let the website lapse. Which is a long story. But now, but I'm very fortunate. I've just had it hosted elsewhere, not so long, so I can now start working on the website again,
Yes.
which is good. So I have, rightly or wrongly, I've focused much more on the social media. I let my website slip, but I need to get back into doing the
Yeah,
website.
it
Yeah,
is so important, and it's now, as Tim keeps saying, now more than ever, right? Now more than ever,
yeah.
it's so important to push people back to make that website. And so, do you have your blog in the same spot as your website, or is that a separate platform?
It's the same thing.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Yeah,
and utilizing your blog, I mean, you should know as a social media person that you got to get them back to your website and to your
yeah,
blog, and it doesn't matter where they're coming from, whether they're seeing you in your blog or on your social or online or whatever. You know, it takes so many more touches because there's so much competition that to get people to notice you. Um, but I mean, you're already doing what a lot of people are not doing, is being online and being visible, being hosted, and doing the live thing, which is it's still a long path because because it takes
yeah.
effort.
But it's a step in the path, and I remember Brian said to me, Brian said a long time ago, just show up.
Yes,
That's important. You've just gotta show up
yes, yes,
and keep showing up.
yes,
And that's what I've been doing for a couple of years, and
yes.
the good thing is that I enjoy doing it. It's not led to riches yet. But
I know, but it will come, right?
I'm ever hopeful.
I think we all are, and this is what we have to be these days. Right? We have to be just positive and hopeful and keep that engine going. Otherwise we're not going to
Yeah,
get anywhere. I've had a couple of my clients this year. I mean, last year. I keep saying this year, which was last year.
I
Is
know it's hard
it's
to
like it
know,
was. I
but
know, just sort of flows
I
all in
know.
one.
Oh, the COVID's changed everything.
I know, and
But
it's not going to
then,
change back very quickly because we're back
no,
into the mess again.
yeah,
But you have to continue. It doesn't matter what happens. You've got to
yeah,
continue. It's amazing how people, are businesses, stop their marketing when things get hard. It's like this the
mm,
last thing you should stop. You should be
mhm.
pitching up more than ever. So yeah, I love Brian. I mean, he's taught me how to do this properly again because, and I pitch up on their show. We should pop in their show in a minute when we get off here, so we can tell them what we did, right?
Yeah, yeah, and Brian and telling them what they do is tremendous. And
No.
Brian's been a great support and sort of mentor.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and a good friend of the years. Yeah, but they're doing is great. So I didn't realize that they were on a show right now. So yeah, we can go now. Pop, we can go pop up at this show in a minute.
Why not,
Hi,
right? Why not?
hi.
I've got, I've got, I have my music ready to go as well. So, you know, my husband's helped me. You know, I don't know if I told you, but my husband's from Scotland. So he's,
Oh,
yeah. So he's,
uh,
he left when he was 16, right?
okay.
And they immigrated to South Africa, and I met him when he came up to Namibia on a contract,
Wow.
and then we moved back to South Africa, got married, had kids, and then moved to Holland. Funny enough, so
You're in Holland.
yeah, I lived in Holland for at least 8 years, and then and it was so cold. It was so cold.
Oh,
So
yeah.
during our life in Holland, he used to say to me, you know, aren't you interested in living in Scotland? I'd go, listen, I read a news article where this woman from Holland was complaining because she was always wearing a rain hat and the rain galoshes. I said,
And Scotland.
I'm from Namibia. I don't do well with lots of rain, right?
No, no.
So I said, no, this is just too cold. So we ended up in Texas, which is
Much more pleasant. Much
except
warmer.
except for the last 3 days, it's been pretty cold. You know, it's been
Yeah.
in the 30s and 40s. But so anyway, so I'm going to what else? So what is your next? What do you want to do this year?
That big question. And deep breath. Uh, deep breath. I would like to get to the position where I'm making film for other
Yes.
people. I love making film, and I would like to. I would like people to pay me money to make a film for them.
Yes. But what
I
type of
do.
film?
Well, I love travel and tourism, and so I would like to do more travel films,
Yes.
and that'd be good. And it's quite funny because years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I never did much traveling, and I never felt confident enough to travel. And it's only now I really feel like I got my confidence and I want to go places.
Well,
But I
it's
can't
not,
right
and
now.
also, sorry, it's not easy having an affliction where people go, you know, they're always staring at you, and you know,
Yeah.
it's that attitude that you have to put up with. But you know, I really think being online and being cheeky will get you through it, right?
I hope so.
You just have to be
Fingers crossed.
exactly. You just gotta be cheeky and
Yeah, yeah.
and just
So
just go for it.
yes, I'm gonna try and put together a portfolio of
Yes,
films,
yes,
and to show people this is what I can do,
so
and hopefully someday will say, yeah, come to for us,
yes. So you got
or
to put it on your website,
yeah.
right?
But
Right?
that's the next step to start working on the website again.
Yes, yes,
But I'm glad that now that I've moved the hosting to Smart Digital,
yes,
and they're very kind at hosting it for
yes,
me, so
yes.
I can work on
Do
it again.
better, do better, do things better, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just be
yeah.
absolutely, yes. As Tim says, let me get him on here. It says, how do I do this? Ha. He says, I've got a new hashtag, right? Absolutely fabulously amazing.
I bet my mouth for 10, but you never know, it could take off.
I know, you never know. Although, you know, I tried to register Absolutely Fabulous, but obviously the TV series was there before
Yeah,
me. So hello. So
that might have been number 4.
I know, right? I know.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're going to finish this off.
So,
I'm going to. I don't have your link where people can actually connect with you, but I'm going to put it in the comments and on the description afterwards when we stop, and I can get it from you. And so if you
okay.
want to get hold of David to do anything, videos, film, or whatever, you need to connect with him and even get him
Tell a
on.
joke.
Yeah, just chat with him and get him
I'll
online,
tell him.
right? And
I'll tell you a joke.
yeah. And so, you know, as I always say, stick to me and I'll make you famous. You know, this is what I tell people in my
Yeah.
workshops: stick to me and I'll make you famous. but if we want to become famous, we'll have to join. Let's join Brian on LinkedIn, and we'll tell him what we've been doing. Right?
Is Brian on right now?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link to get on. Okay.
Let's hop over there.
Okay. This is exciting. Anyway, thanks for listening, and we will be back with David, I'm sure, again as soon as we start selling his stuff online. So thanks for
and you know, one more thing to say, thank you very much for having me on the show. Thank you.
This is absolutely,
That's
this was very
all right.
exciting. I absolutely loved having you on. Okay,
That's
thanks.
great. Okay.
Bye.